Hey Kros fans, welcome once again to Kros Examination. For our third week, let's take a look at Ming. One of the original rogues, he makes a good addition to control teams. Let's jump in and see what this rogue is all about. Alongside Badaboom and Remington Smiths, Ming uses bomb mechanisms. There are currently 3 bomb mechanisms in Krosmaster: water bombs, Granado, and fire bombs. In the case of Ming, we'll be looking at the Granado. For 3 of his 6 AP, Boo can toss a grenade into play and can control up to 2 Granado at a time. It has the characteristics of every bomb: itty bitty, 1 life, and explosion. In the case of Granado though, it sets itself apart with its unique explosion, which removes a movement point from any Krosmaster in its area of effect. This makes Boo a great matchup against speedy opponents, able to keep them in place with some well-placed Granado. Also, unlike Bad, Ming has air resistance, meaning he is less likely to take damage from his Granado exploding, but you should still keep him away if you don't want his movement to suffer. Boo's second attack is Cross Shot, a standard range spell for 5 AP that hits for base 1 air damage. This attack is fairly standard and probably won't see action as much as the Granado throw. Unlike Badaboom's Retreat Shot, Boo can't throw a Granado and immediately detonate it. While this can certainly seem like a downside, as waiting for the Granado to explode of their own volition often ends with the opponent simply moving out of range of the bombs, there are plenty of Krosmasters who can detonate the Granado for him. On that note, let's take a look at some good team building options for Ming. In most cases, I would run 2 Ming to maximize your control of the board. The average speed amongst Krosmasters is 3. Some Krosmasters have more or less than that, but there are still only 3 Krosmasters currently in the game that have 5 MP, and none which have more than 5. So with 4 Granado, your odds are high to stop a Krosmaster's movement entirely. I'd also recommend adding a Badaboom, either replacing a Ming or in addition to the pair. His water bombs reduce AP instead of MP, which means your target will not only be immobilized, but also have reduced attack potential, and with 6 bombs you'll have a damage potential between 6 and 12 damage. That by itself could destroy any number of Krosmasters. Now that we've got our artillery handled, let's look at our potential detonators. In order to find a proper detonator, we need a Krosmaster which will move after Ming, but before the opponent takes their turn. This way we can ensure that the target is in position properly when the explosives go off. Ming has a very low initiative at 2, but this still leaves us with a good collection of options for detonating the payload. There are a lot of good options out there for this, so I'm just going to go over a few that are my preferred options. Let's count down from 2 initiative, where we'll begin discussing Mercator. Mercator's Steam Trooper attack is ideal for setting off bombs from a distance, as its cross area of effect can deal damage to the target trapped by the explosives as well. In most cases, you won't need to worry about detonating multiple bombs at once, as the first bomb should detonate the others in a chain reaction. But it doesn't hurt to strike at more than 1 to be sure. Mercator can even attack from close range with his pulverization, allowing him to retreat away before the bombs explode. Of course, with his air and water resistances, he doesn't have too much to worry about taking damage from water bombs or Granado, as long as they don't hit their crits. And even then, he shouldn't take too much, if any, damage. If you like the initiative but don't like the level, there's also Might Lock. Might's Temporal Dust hits in a square, able to strike the target for damage and hit multiple bombs at once from a safe distance. Be careful detonating bombs with him nearby though, as he has no defense aside from his armor roll to avoid damage from the bombs. With 1 initiative, let's start with Lil Healy. Healy's Forbidden Word hits only 1 target, but with Pierce's armor, it's a guaranteed hit, and the chain reaction can do the rest, along with a healing word after to cover the collateral damage and keep your rogues fighting fit. For 1 initiative, the only other one I can recommend is Cannibal Archer for his range, but even then, I prefer Lil Healy in the 1 initiative slot. And if your team is too full to accommodate a level 3, there are better level 1s at 0 initiative. Speaking of, let's see what options we have at 0 initiative, starting with my personal favorite, Kivin. I really like Kivin as a Krosmaster. He's definitely my favorite level 1, but we can praise him more when I get around to his video, whenever that may be. In terms of a detonator, Kivin works really well. His Walkthrough Dummy ability allows him to strike the bombs from behind the safety of a tree or another Krosmaster, making sure that he doesn't fall victim to opposing Krosmasters. Though if an enemy Krosmaster dies from Kivin detonating the bombs, it doesn't count as a Kivin kill, so his Wisdom ability leans more in the favor of the opponent in this circumstance. Daikiri would also work if you don't have the room for Lil Healy, working in much the same way. Though unlike Healy, Kiri can't strike and heal in the same turn. Steamy Wonder may be a better alternative, setting down a lifesaver early on and then focusing on detonating bombs, though the lifesaver doesn't discriminate between ally and enemy when it's healing. Playing against Ming can be difficult. At 7 HP, he's tough to take down in a single turn. I'd recommend long-range combat, try to keep outside of his range of Granado as much as you can, and push aggro against him heavily. If he's the focus of the team, taking him out will destroy your opponent's strategy, and if he's simply support, it'll still make it easier to take on your opponent's real threats without being stuck in place. There are no specific demonic rewards I can recommend to Boo Ming. He won't benefit from damage increases, as his bombs are the ones dealing most of the damage. He doesn't benefit from AP boosts either, not even Bulbastophus, as he can only control 2 Granado at a time. While you can set it up for him to use Granado Throw and Cross Shot in one turn, it's better to throw 2 Granado and let an ally detonate them to maximize the control potential. You can boost his HP or MP, which would help, but it's nothing you absolutely need to make him playable. Just improve on his already great stats. There isn't really any reward I can say is something you absolutely need. I think that pretty much covers Boo Ming pretty well. If you're looking to keep your opponent in one place and reduce their movement, he's an amazing Krosmaster to have on your side. As always, I'd love to hear what others think about Boo Ming and what sort of strategies and teams you employ. And if you like the video, be sure to show your support with a thumbs up, and subscribe to keep up to date on cross-examination. Until next week, Cross fans, stay cross'em.